Hi, and welcome to another episode of Unhoused in CLT. Um, I wanted to take some time today to talk about some things that are on my heart. I've been posting these short videos of my time with Monique, and what I haven't had an opportunity to do is talk very much about or share about the emotional toll homelessness can have on people. Um, I think a lot of us are maybe quick to say, oh, get a job, get a job. Not always that simple because obviously it's hard to get a job if you don't have an address. Um, it's hard to get a job if you don't have anywhere to clean up properly and make yourself presentable to even interview. So that can weigh on a person's emotions, psyche. I get that. Um, Emotionally, homelessness, I have not experienced it as an adult. I have as a child, so I kind of know what that feels like from a child's perspective, but I don't have the worry that goes along with it and all the ideas that, adults we intend or we expect for them to figure things out. As a child, you expect your parent, even though, shit looks bad, you expect your parents to figure it out. And they, oftentimes do. So I don't have that experience as an adult, dealing with the emotional toll that any type of housing insecurity or food insecurity can have on your spirit. So I think we need to be careful when we expect for people to just figure it out, get it together. So I had an experience recently, and I didn't quite know how to handle it, honestly. I'm just being real, did not know what to do. Um, okay, I'll back up a little bit. Monique interviewed for a job and got the job. Interestingly enough, the job was as a leasing agent in an apartment community that, get this, she can't even afford at the salary that they're paying her. She could not afford to live in the community where she is renting out or where she was hired to rent out apartments. I don't know if she actually took the job because the last I spoke with her, she had gone on 2 rounds of interviews, aced them all, and they were doing the background check. And because she's worked so many different places throughout the country, it was going to take a good 10 days to do the background check. So that's the last I heard. But I just thought it was ironic that the very same place where she will be trying to find tenants for, because of the 3 times the rent bullshit they got going on here in Charlotte and other big cities, I'm told, she couldn't afford to live there if she wanted to. So there's that. That, I'm sure, for her had to be kind of emotionally, like, I don't know, for me, I'm just pissed thinking about it. And it's not even happening to me. Makes me mad. Regardless, if she takes the job, I'm sure she's going to do well at it because she's a really smart woman. She's very capable. But I know being out here like this wears at you. It's hard. It's got to be hard. So I'm praying for her that she works through it and works that out. Secondly, I got to thinking this morning, again, the main reason, and I haven't spoken much about it in this podcast, but the main reason that I started this podcast is because I'm kind of pissed at the policies in this country. We had people coming from, we have people coming from multiple countries, and somehow our government found money to put these folks in homes, to give them a stipend every month. And I know that to be true because I have clients who have told me what the arrangement was. I was shocked. This was back maybe a year and a half ago, back when Trump was saying they're bringing they're sending their prisoners, and they're sending their mentally ill. They're emptying the prisons, and they're emptying the mental institutions. And I was like, really? Where you get that from? Well, come to find out, it's true. That's why a lot of these people that are being rounded up now they're dangerous people because they had been let out of prisons in Colombia. I had a client who's she was from Colombia. She came the hard way, and it took her 12 years to gain citizenship, but she did everything she was supposed to do, and she really didn't even want any parts of this relative who was coming, and she hadn't seen him since she was a kid, like 15 years ago. She was a kid, and she didn't know that he had been in jail for multiple years. He wouldn't tell her what he was in jail for, but he had been in jail, and he told her, yeah, that the prison guard told us when they're going to let us out on a certain day, and we're to go to America and go to the border, and they're going to give us food, they're going to give us money, they're going to give us somewhere to stay, and don't come back. So I know that to be true. That person and another person told me the same thing. Horrible story. But regardless, the thing that makes me mad is this country found money for a bunch of strangers we don't even know. We don't know anything about them. They're not even American citizens. I have a problem, and I'll use this analogy because this is kind of the thing I thought of as a mother and a former wife. When I was married, I would feel some type of way if my husband stepped over our children in our house that we raised and we birthed, and went next door and fed the neighbor's kids. Ignored our kids, but went and fed the neighbor's kids. Oh, the neighbor's kids need food. What about our kids? That's how I look at this whole situation. The way American homeless are treated is crazy. Everyone's heard stories about veterans in New York who were living in hotels and had their hotel expenses subsidized by the government. They're all put out in favor of these illegal aliens. And, the illegal aliens were brought in and given everything they need. They trashed the place in no time, of course, which is what happens when people don't care anything about, when you're giving someone something and they don't have to work for it, they don't care anything about it. You're going to put out veterans who died for our safety, who gave up their lives and in some cases their mental stability to keep us safe. We're going to put them out and bring a bunch of strangers in and take care of them. I say all that to say, this country will bend over backwards for political reasons and do things for that benefit politicians, and ignore the constituents. We the people. We live here. We're born and raised here. This is our home. We're all citizens. And the fact that I even have to do a stupid podcast like this to bring awareness to the homeless situation, where I can't tell you, I go to Walmart and these people got 3 and 4 shopping carts full, and I'm trying to keep my bill under $100. Okay, they're given everything. They're given access to everything, and no one seems to think it's a big deal. Okay, Sasha, you gotta go. No one seems to think it's a big deal. There's so much compassion for these foreigners, and none for people who live here that fallen on hard times. I don't care what happened to get them where they are. We've gotten rid of a lot of the mental institutions or the mental facilities in this country, so there's not much mental help. That sometimes people just need a minute to go somewhere and just get a break from life, especially if you've had something traumatic happen to you. We don't have facilities like that in abundance like we used to. I don't think they even exist anymore, but I haven't had a chance to research it, but I'll research that. I know there used to be a lot of places like that. There really aren't anymore. So as a result, we have a lot of mentally ill homeless on the street. That should not be. That should not be. It makes me angry. Not only that, we just don't care for our people the way we should. I'm excited now because I have an interview coming up with a young lady who aged out of the foster care system. She's got no family, and she spent several years on the street. Somehow she got herself together. I'm so excited to hear her story because I want to know what she did, because I want her to be able to hopefully be a resource to other people and help other people. She said she's already helped other people to find housing and to help their situation, and I'm excited about that. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Like, this is my main reason, because this country is jacked. Like, the stuff we do for other people, we're always bending over backwards for these strangers, and we're not taking care of our own, and it's just not right. So I don't know where Monique is in her journey. I pray that she is able to take this new job that's been offered to her and slowly work herself back and gain her self-respect, because that's important to her, and I get that. And I would love to be able to put her in touch with this other young lady that I will be meeting with tomorrow, and maybe she can help her along the way. I just wanted to share that because there's a lot that goes on here, and I've gotten somewhat political watching the things that go on. And at the end of the day, it's not even about party anymore. Both the major parties in this country got issues, and everything is not done in the spirit of good faith, and that's the problem. I personally think we don't even need representatives. I think we need to be voting on issues, because obviously corruption is so rampant and so tempting that maybe if you get into politics for a good reason, because you want to help the people or whatever, how long does that last before they start throwing money at you and your scruples go out the window? So I don't know. But I think at this point we need to really start using the money that was used to bring those illegal aliens here and get them so comfortable. And some of them had their rent paid up for like 2 years or something crazy. Where'd that money go? Where's that money? I don't hear anything about Doge finding that money, but where's that money? That money needs to be found, and it needs to be reallocated to people that live here. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It has me really pissed thinking about it, because I want to help people, but I'm hanging out here on a thread by myself. I'm doing what I do just to try to help in some small way, but I don't have big money that can help people that would make a big difference. If I did, I would make a difference. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. At the bottom of this video, I will share information for people that maybe have some mental health issues, but they can't afford it. They don't have health insurance and they don't know where to go. There are some resources here in Charlotte. I was shocked to find that out, so that's awesome. I'm gonna share that information down the bottom, and if anyone would like to get some mental health help especially while they're dealing with a homeless current situation, it's there. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's certain days you have to show up, but just the fact that it's there is awesome. And you don't have to be homeless to take advantage, obviously. But they're free resources is what I'm saying. So I will share that information down the bottom. And I'll continue to post excerpts of my interview with Monique. And I look forward to meeting with Mickey tomorrow. That's going to be really fun and eye-opening. And I just love a feel-good story. I love a story of how somebody overcame a bad situation, something that looked like totally fucked up, and you think there's no way out of it. There's always a way. God is always going to work it out. And I want to hear how God worked it out for this young lady. So stay tuned. Like, share, and subscribe, please. You know, my little channel is just my little way of doing something. I don't know if anybody's even watching. Who knows? It may only be me. But feel free to leave a comment or something down the bottom. Ask questions, or if you have any ideas for a video or for some content that you would like me to share, please do that. I feel like I'm talking into a vacuum, but maybe at some point somebody will hear this. So anyway, like, share, and subscribe, and thanks so much. Have a blessed day.